Hi, Leslie Urbis here with day 2 of our training this week. Today is called Increase Energy, Increase Momentum, Increase Your Confidence without all those crappy diets that you have learned about before in the past. So I will give people a couple of seconds here to go on. I certainly hope you did your homework that I gave you guys last night because day 2 builds on the homework today. So my hope is that you were able to do those things. And as people show up, drop me a hashtag live, hashtag replay if you're watching this or catching this on the replay. So that way that I know you're here and I can help in any way, shape, or form. If you have questions about what we talked about yesterday, also feel free to drop a comment below. Outside of that, we're going to get started here in just a second. Getting my notes in the right angle of the page so I can see what I want to say to you guys. Anyways, all right, hashtag live, hashtag replay. I promise the screen will stop moving in just a second if you are here. Today, I want to start with your homework, why it was important, and how it ties in to one of my favorite clients in the past that I've had. Sarah is her name. Sarah and I started working with each other last year. I will tie her testimonial down below this so you guys can watch her testimonial after this. But she was one of my favorite clients in terms of the first person that got a massive result based on these things that I'm having you guys do with your homework. And that is, yesterday, I asked you guys to do that homework assignment. I'm trying to pull it up here so I don't forget. Your homework assignment was, what foods control your emotions? When you get bored, what do you do with those foods? And write down any of those things, like when you go through like, oh, I shouldn't have this, I should have that, or labels that you assign to foods, okay? So if you are here, again, hashtag live, hashtag replay, and tell me if you did the homework, and tell me below, hey, I did my homework and I'm ready to take on step 2. That'd be awesome. Outside of that, what exactly did Sarah see? So when Sarah came to me, I remember having this conversation with her, and it was literally like, I'm here because I need a plan. I need to lose this 20 pounds. I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. And it was just like a quick text message kind of thing. And I, thought about it. I was like, okay, cool. I could draw her up a meal plan, right? Like everybody out there, every dietitian, every personal trainer is like, oh yeah, I got you. I got a meal plan. That's super easy. Go to Google, print it out, send it to you. AKA Weight Watchers, every other diet process out there, right? It's just like, hey, here we go. Here's your little tidbit that you're going to need. But anyways, I digress here. So that's what she said that she wanted when we first started talking. And I really was like, oh, okay, I could probably just, sell her over the phone, over text message, but I hate saying the word sell, but, like get her that meal plan over the phone. And I was like, I really want to chat with her. So I get on this phone call with her, and I come to find out that she is being super controlled by everything. She hates going out on dates with her husband. She weighs herself frequently. If the scale goes up, it's like refine, refine, refine. Don't eat, restrict, label foods, good, bad, ugly, kill myself at the gym, add another gym trial in here, try to make up by going to the gym an extra day here, whatever it may be, right? So she's literally causing herself to go down this road of, I'm only worth it if the scale tells me I am. I'm only worth it if I follow the exact meal plan. I'm only worth it if I eat the foods that are labeled good for me, not bad for me, okay? And her whole world is revolving around this. And she's missing everything, right? The things that she's missing is, 1, time with her family. 2, being actually engrossed in the date night, sipping the wine, not wine yet, with her husband, and just enjoying the moment. You know what it is? She's literally wasting her life because it's the scale that dominates what she does. It's the scale that tells her when she can eat the foods. She's missed time with her husband. She's missed, good time with her husband, if you know what I mean. She has missed time with her kids. She's missed time feeling good. Her brain is always constantly somewhere else. And then the years, right? How many years have you done this? So what I want you to think on top of the homework that I had, this is just a day. This is 24 hours basically that you did this. How many times did food control you? How many labels did you already have on good and bad food? How many times did you subconsciously go without even knowing that you were giving a label of good and bad to the food, right? Think about how many times you do these things without really knowing that you're doing it. And think of the years wasted, Okay, so I told you that when I went to college, I changed my life. I was 19, which meant that I spent from 15 to 19 in this chronic dieting phase. That's 4 years, almost 5 years of my life that I could not get back. Okay, it was dictated by those things. I remember in high school, we had this a bookstore, and it had candy in it, right? Which was super cool because when you were like in grade school, you couldn't, get that. People call it different things like junior high or whatever. Okay, you couldn't get candy, right? So it was like the girls were always going and getting candy from the bookstore. I never did it. I think one day I actually bought candy from the bookstore, but every other day I wouldn't let myself because it wasn't something that I was allowing myself to do. It wasn't written on my diet. And no, I'm not saying candy was the only thing that made it fun. But yes, it was that like hype of like, ooh, I'm old enough to get candy at lunch, right? Okay. Or the comment of, I don't know if you guys had that in high school or whatever, where you could actually pick out your own lunch. There was a selection. It wasn't just here is what you get, right? So that takes away from it, right? It takes away from your experiences when you personally are going out. Do you choose to have the wine? Do you choose to eat the steak or the crab legs? Or do you get this minuscule salad with this side of whatever because you know it's healthier for you and you're trying to stay in shape, right? How much are you really missing? Like really quantify that. How many years have you wasted? How much time and money have you wasted on the diets, the supplements? I was reading somebody's post yesterday about they sell weight loss products, and there was like 50 things that they would need for the weight loss products and like 40 things for their face. I'm like, geezo, like imagine the bill for that, right? Okay, now don't get me wrong, like I get that everything that's worth something is worth the money, but I was just like, there's no end to that, right? It's like you take these supplements, you do this thing, and there's no end. There is no solution. You must remain on them to yield the same results. So sure, I could do Optavia a month and spend $400 on the food and then only have to buy food one meal, okay? So maybe I'm actually saving money on my food costs. I don't even know if it's 400 anymore because food costs have gone up, but let's just say it still is, okay? So let's say that that's it, but they never want you to get off the 3-in-1. So you have to be buying the 3-in-1. So let's say that's 200 a month for the rest of your life on these products that get sent to you in the mail. Like, mind blown, right? Where is the end of that? And then you think in your head, oh, it's okay, I'll be fine, I'll end someday. And then you have the repeated story of gaining it all back, right? Like massive mind-blowing information here, okay? You go to the weight loss clinic. You've got a doctor, this medical doctor who's a weight loss doctor that's helping you do it, right? That's what you hear. And you're like, oh, they're gonna help me to do this. Come to find out, it's low carb, low fat, low everything, and they give you these pills or whatever so that way you're just not starving all the time and boom, magically you lose all this weight and people are like, what are you doing? That's awesome. Let me know, right? And then 2 years later, they're like, I'm not going to call her out, but I think she gained it all back, right? Okay. Time is of essence. Where in your life are you missing out on the things you want to? People are like, I'm on a diet. Nothing's wrong with that. Nothing is. But what are you missing in your life? What are you not allowing yourself to truly live and feel into because you're letting a diet control you, right? So I started with Sarah's story because when Sarah came to me, it was literally, I want a meal plan. This is what everybody says, right? This is what you've said. I know what I need to do. I need to count my calories. I need a portion control. I need to take X supplement. I need to do X diet. I need to follow what somebody else has done. That's what you say to yourself, right? This is what I need to do in order to get there. But guess what? It's only going to get you so far. It's not the real answer. If that were true, why would the wellness industry be making billions of dollars every year? Why would Weight Watchers be making millions and billions of dollars every year? Why would Nutrisystem? If it worked that well, shouldn't everybody be off of it by now? So the loss here is time, happiness, energy, effort, momentum, confidence. If you're a business owner, building that business, not having a stroke to build the business. What is it that's really going on in all of this that's stopping you from achieving your goal? How many years do you want to waste? So when Sarah came to me last year, she stopped wasting her life and she's still not wasting her life. She actually put her scale away. a little bit later in this, I'm going to bring up another client who's done just the same. But what I want to jump into now is what you typically do in order to lose weight and why that fails you and what's really happening in your subconscious mind on why you're going through these things, okay? So these are the top things that I've seen people do in order to lose weight. First one, increase caffeine. If I need to boost energy, I'll increase caffeine, okay? And maybe not in the form of coffee, okay? Caffeine comes in so many new ways, right? It's like energy supplements. It's things like, what do you call those things before? Pre-workouts. It is things like 5-hour energy. It's all these new supplements that are like, this has no caffeine, but it boosts your energy, like B12 supplements and things like that. Or what is that? Thrive, right? Like, oh, this jolt of energy from all of these things. But what's it really doing, right? These things that we're attempting to do to boost our energy so we feel better are only a Band-Aid. They eventually fall off, right? The Band-Aid is only as good. Like I literally have, like I ripped open my thumb the other day and I had a Band-Aid on. I had to replace that Band-Aid because this is your thumb, right? And I wash my hands and take care of everything. I had to replace that Band-Aid about 5 times a day. 5 times a day, just so that way it would stay closed. Because if I opened it up, it was just at the right spot that it just took forever to heal so it wouldn't stop bleeding, right? You know what I'm talking about. You've had that before. That's what you're doing with these caffeine supplements. Or my next favorite one, the MLMs. It's okay. Follow this diet. Take this supplement. You'll be okay. Okay. But you have to do it for life. And how many different supplements do you have to try? It starts with one. They get you in with one. And then it just up from there. Well, if you're not seeing results, if we add this, you'll get more results. Oh, you want to add this in too, right? We've all seen that, right? You get in the door and then they just keep on going, right? Okay. That's number 2. The next thing you do is you force yourself to restrict, okay? Scale goes up, not feeling good, clothes feel tight, I restrict, I restrict, I restrict, I restrict, okay? You hone in on that, oh no, can't eat that, can't do that, go buy fast food, okay, no more drinking alcohol, get rid of it, right? And then that relies on willpower, you being like, no, 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 no. Okay, if anybody is a parent here, you probably had at one period of time where, oh, looks like it's not streaming to one of them. That's okay. I can always use the replay later. That's why I'm on this platform. Okay, anyway, sorry guys. I just got a red box. Okay, so we're going back to willpower. If you've been a parent or a teacher or you run a business, you know how much willpower is not always there for you, right? So without including food, think about it in terms of willpower. My little kid, my son, I'll bring Larry into this. He is adorable, but man, does that kid try my buttons. When things go wrong, he can stand there and scream at the top of his lungs. And it's like, how much willpower do you have to just be like, okay, let him have the fit, let him have the fit, let him have the fit. It's okay. It's okay. Until your brain goes, too, right? Like you just want to lose your mind. Or if you've been a teacher or if you've been in a business where you're like, okay, I have told you this 23 times in 23 different ways. I know you understand what is happening, but it's like, it won't get through there. And your brain, that little person in your brain is like, just run away, lose your cool, right? Okay. That's what's happening when you do the restriction. You're relying on your willpower to be like, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. Willpower has an end. It has an end. It's like we start every morning like our phone with 100% battery, okay? And every time we use that willpower, it drains, okay? Now, sometimes we've got really good phone batteries and maybe the 100% lasts us all day depending on how much we're using it. But willpower typically doesn't make it that far. So the more we restrict, the more willpower we use. That's why you go through that, like what I talked about yesterday, where Monday, Thursday, you're on, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're off, then you jump back on again because your willpower has led you to that, okay? We talked a little bit about supplements, but one of those things that I want to talk about there is also like weight loss medication. So some doctors have been a little bit happier to be like, oh, we'll give you like a vitamin B12 shot or some other sort of pill when you're barely overweight or something. And they're giving it to you. And it's kind of like a blanket thing. Oh, I know if I go back and get it, it'll work again. But it's that yo-yo, right? It's that metabolism killer destroyer. And it just ends it, right? We're relying on some sort of pill. If anybody knows somebody that has diabetes, as they get reliant on a medication, like sometimes without them doing any other interventions, the medication has to keep getting bumped up because their body gets used to the base level of medication that's controlling everything. So now we have to bump up. People with heart issues and things like that, people that rely on that medication may have to increase it as time goes on because the medication is no longer as effective because the body's adapted. Okay. And that's really what I get to with that. The quick and easy fixes, my favorite. Oh my gosh. Everybody knows somebody like this where it's like, okay, I have this vacation to go on and I've got to get that bikini body. So I'm going to try this diet. I'm going to lose this massive amount of weight. I'm going to take the vacation and it's all going to come back. Oh, but they swear this is the last time that that's going to happen. Or on top of that, it's sort of like, I know that if I just do like the cabbage soup diet, which used to be a thing back then, if I do the cabbage soup diet, I'll meet this pounds on the scale, right? Those quick and easy fixes. And the last thing that people typically do when they try to do this is some sort of affirmation of like, this is what I need to do to get the result. Getting the result will make me happy, okay? Now, for anybody out there that's lost the weight and gained it back, here's my question to you. When you finally got to where you were, did you feel happier? And really think about that. I felt better in my clothes. I maybe had more confidence in myself. But did you really feel better? Or did you still go to that mirror and be like, God, this is still flabby and this is still blah. And like, maybe I need to get like a hair change or I need to modify X, Y, or Z. I still don't like myself. I'm still not happy. And do you want to know why? Because the way that you went at it to get that result was all out here. It was all out here. It wasn't in here. It was out here. I will do these things to get me the result, to feel better about whatever the heck it is that I'm doing, and I'm not actually getting the result. That is what Sarah spent all of her time doing and what she came to me for. What I hear normally from somebody when they get on a call with me is, I just need a meal plan. I just need to know how to lift the weights. I know what I'm doing. But really, what's happening underneath? What's happening underneath? So with Sarah, when she would go into restriction mode, what was really happening is behind the scenes, right? In your subconscious mind, everybody's like, my subconscious doesn't work like this. Okay, yes, it does. Okay, think about it. Going back to my thumb, I did not have to think, I need this to heal. Send everything to heal. I don't know when, the antibodies and the red blood cells and white blood cells and the skin cells showed up to repair. I have no clue, but my body did that. I did that. Okay, if you're a mom, you grew 2 babies, 1 baby, whatever. You didn't think, oh, I just made my kid's kidney, right? No, okay? So your subconscious mind is playing against you. So when you restrict or you tell yourself no to something, your brain in turn says, oh, she's back at it again. He's back at it again. So I will stop the weight loss process. I will stay still because if I give her no results on the scale, she won't change. Right? How many of us have to be like, I need the result now. If I don't get the result, then I stop. Your subconscious mind is doing that to you because it doesn't really want you to lose the weight, because you're not really doing it for the right reasons. The reason why you're losing weight is because you think looking better in the bikini right now is exactly what you want. But the truth is that has nothing to do with it. You want the time with your family. You want to feel happier. You want to feel better about yourself. You want to actually enjoy your time in the bedroom, if that's a thing that you do. Okay? But you don't want to say that. You don't want to vocalize that out loud. And when you get on the phone with me or with somebody else, you're just like, I just need the meal plan because if I lose the weight, then I'll feel better. No, because your subconscious mind is playing against you. And this is one of the best ways that it does it. Okay? Sorry if I talk fast. I'm trying to slow myself down a little bit because that's a really key point. Your body is ensuring that you will not lose weight because you've done that laundry list of things too many times. Okay? All right. Here's the next thing that happens. You want to lose weight, but somewhere in your past history, when you were skinnier or prettier, you got some sort of negative attention that your brain goes, you don't want to be skinny or pretty, because if you're skinny or pretty or handsome or whatever it is, then that can happen to you again. Okay. Now this goes for people that were abused. This goes for people that were potentially, sexually abused. This goes for any of that kind of stuff. But it could be something as simple as just at work one day, back before, sexual harassment was such a big push. I was in the Navy. Like, I don't want to say that I don't want to admit that I was, sexually harassed probably a million times, but I was, right? People make comments to me all the time. I can't tell you, and inappropriate ones that I probably should have said something about, but never did. But if that was something that triggered you in your brain, your body is then like, we must get fat. And without you knowing, that's just in your brain, right? Just in your brain of why it happens. So you go down this laundry list of things, but again, your body goes back to, we're not losing weight, because if so, then we'll get seen and somebody may do that again to us and we don't get the results, okay? The next thing is that you do that laundry list of things because it's another way of control, okay? So maybe you're in a job that you can't control, or your kids you can't control, or your significant other and you are getting divorced, or you're running a business and things aren't going the right way. So what we do is we pick up the next thing of control. One of the best things I ever learned with being a dietitian in the hospital is that people purposely get mad when their food comes wrong because it's the only thing they control, okay? They can't control what time the nurse comes in the middle of the night. Like if you've ever been in the hospital, like when I was a postpartum mom, they came every 4 hours. So I was woken up every 4 hours. Now I was up every 2 hours with the baby anyways, but every 4 hours they came in, check your blood pressure, do this, do that, right? Okay. If you've been in the hospital, you understand that. So you don't get to control when you get to sleep, when you get to eat, whatever you get to do. The only thing you get to control is the food that comes to you. And if it comes wrong, you're like, whoa, I just wanted blah, 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 okay? And we know that. So that's why food gets the highest complaints in the hospital, because it's the only thing they get some sort of say in. We're going to give you a heart test today. Okay, what time is the test? We don't know. We'll let you know. We'll come to you, okay? The heart test happens to be at the exact same time that your wife or husband comes to visit. And it's like, whoa, right? You don't get to know, okay? So it helps you control. When you say things like, I won't eat that, but I will eat that, it gives you some sort of sense of control. And if you feel lack of control other places, this is what your brain does to you. Doesn't mean it's going to help you to lose weight. It just means you're going to use it as a form of control, okay? Fourth thing, you compensate, your brain's compensating for what you're missing. Meaning in terms of you choose to eat the chocolate. Bring myself back into play. I choose to eat the chocolate because I can't get the hug, okay? I'm going to be completely honest. My husband is deployed right now, and we got to FaceTime him yesterday. It's even going to make me cry right now. And I was like, I was surprised that we got to, because it wasn't something that I knew about. And all of a sudden I'm getting a FaceTime call from him. And so I answered, and I was sitting in the kids' daycare getting ready to pick them up. And so I sat there with him and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmingly going to cry, because it was a surprise, right? And I can still bring it up right now, right? So that emotional need of like, I want to hug him, I want to like reach into the phone, right, was created. Now, my brain already knows, because I was able to get through that piece of knowing the chocolate was there, that the moment I got home without getting that hug and reciprocal response from him, I may choose to go get that chocolate, right? So I know that. The food emotion code, the things that I trained with Sarah, the things that I do in the Beat the Scale program go into that, okay? I help you to figure out how that chocolate is controlling you, and how you can then be clear to say, I didn't get the hug from my husband, so I'm gonna go get the chocolate, but I'm consciously aware of it, and I'm gonna do one piece, satisfy myself, and not wind up like Rachel Hollis, knee deep in the bag of Oreos. Right? Okay, there's one more thing that's really happening when you're doing all these things. And that is that in some sort of way, you're having some shame, guilt, or lack of self-love, okay? So this can come in multiple ways. This is what I get a lot from people when I'm on the phone with them. And that is something along the lines of, my husband or my wife sabotages me when I try to lose weight. They always bring home the things that they know I can't say no to, okay? Now, the truth is that yes, they're bringing them home, and yes, that is something that maybe they're doing out of an act of love because they know you like them, and maybe your love language is gift giving. So you're like, oh, that's what I need, right? Okay, but you're eating it out of your own shame and guilt of hurting their feelings for saying no. Okay. Now let's walk through that just a bit here. Okay. So we go back to that willpower piece. Okay. Let's just throw my husband under the bus, because I don't want to throw anybody else's story in here just yet. Okay. Let's say that my husband knows I love chocolate. Okay. Which he does know I love chocolate. And funny enough, he bought chocolates for me on Valentine's Day, because he was gone then too. A really expensive box of chocolates. And I was very much like, why would he even buy me a box of chocolates? Like, I mean, buy me the candy at the grocery store. Like, I love the little Dove pieces of chocolate more than I probably love this box of candy, because too rich of chocolate, I feel like I can't eat that much, right? Anybody have that? Well, anyways, I took it. I was very like loved by it, whatever. We had that box of chocolate, I want to say, until like 4 days ago. That's how long it took me to eat. There was only 12 pieces in there. But when he got home, he was like, I can't believe you didn't eat all this. I was like, it's been like 6 days. How would I eat all that chocolate? And he was like, I don't know. I just figured you would. Like I said, are you upset that I didn't? He goes, no, I just figured that you would have consumed more of it, right? So I could have worried right then, did I make him feel bad? Did I make him feel less of a person because I didn't eat all the candy or chocolate or whatever? I could have let that partake in my brain, but I didn't. I let it go. There was nothing else about it. But if you're unaware of the situation, your brain's going to go, oh my God, you need to feel guilty because you didn't finish that chocolate. You better go finish that chocolate tonight. Offer him a piece, and if he doesn't eat it, then finish it and be like, thank you, honey, for bringing this chocolate home for me. All because of these things that are subconsciously there that you don't even know. Okay, so we started this today with Sarah's story and about your homework story. How many times are you doing this? How much of your life are you really missing? See, when people come to me, they come to me with the problem. I need to lose weight. I want to reduce my emotional eating. I want to regain my metabolism, right? Those are the three big picture things that I help with. But the truth is, the underlying factors that are really going on here is that you're not happy with your body. You're not happy with yourself. You're not happy with the control you have around your food. You have some shame and guilt tied in there. We've got all these other background stories that are stopping you from getting what you really want. And what do you really want? You want to be happy. You want to spend the time in the moment. You want to show up at the party and be like, oh, this feels good. I kind of want to eat the hot dog, or no, I'm really not in the mood for a hot dog, but I'll eat the hamburger. You want to show up as a business owner representing your business as I've got this. And if donuts show up, you choose to eat one or not, right? You want to show up as a parent being happy and enjoying the ice cream with your kid and not in the background giving them all of these other dieting issues that you're presenting to them because you don't even subconsciously know that your whole life is surrounded by controlling food so you don't gain weight, feeling shame or guilt if you don't eat something because somebody gave it to you, from keeping yourself protected because if you look too hot, somebody may sexually assault you or something. There's so much going on here, but everybody thinks, I just need Weight Watchers. I just need Noom. I just need to control the carbs. I just need to do this. And I will stand here and tell you they'll work for a few minutes and then they'll fail. And I don't want you to fail. Okay. So if you're still with me, drop another hashtag live, hashtag replay. Drop any questions if you have any. It's still telling me LinkedIn may not be working. So I just wanted to see that going on here. Make sure I can't move that. Okay. I can't see the questions right now. So if there's one, it's okay. Anyway, short little break there so I could have some water. Now, okay, Leslie, you gave us all this. What do we do? How do we solve this problem? Okay, here we go. How do we solve this problem? You're using time and money as an excuse right now to why, no matter what, you just need to go to this XYZ program because you've seen somebody else get a result and you know what they had to do, time and money. So that's going to be your answer. Okay. But what's really happening is that by doing that, you're actually losing time and money. You just don't process it. Okay. Why is this important for me to bring up before I show you what you really need? Because everybody in their heads, when they say they need to lose weight, control their emotions, be a better person, whatever it is, they automatically go to what they see the most of. Okay. And if you Googled weight loss solutions right now, I guarantee you the most you would see on there would be like Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Noom, Nutrisystem, maybe Optavia might be on there. You might get some sort of like, infomercial type stuff like the Beachbody stuff or Peloton stuff or something along those lines, right? So you're going to get something along those lines of the answer to that, right? So by choosing to do that, you get a solution that's like a Band-Aid, right? It works for so long. So you waste more years, you waste more money, and then you try something else and you waste more years and you waste more money. But the funny thing is that we're doing all of this because we're trying to make ourselves feel better. We think if we get to the weight, we'll do that, right? But all these other emotional things are going on behind the scenes and we're not really processing that all we're doing is wasting all of our years and all of our money by trying to Band-Aid a solution to make ourselves feel better. And even when we get there, we don't feel better because we never solved the underlying problems. Okay, so what do you really need in order to achieve this? Here we go. We got about 10 minutes left, so that way you know. Okay, first thing is you need an identity shift. Right now, you identify as maybe a yo-yo dieter, like we talked yesterday, or somebody who's chronically dieting, or somebody who's just at the wrong age so their metabolism isn't working. And yesterday, when we chatted about all those other things that were going on, about the 3 reasons why your metabolism fails, and the 3 things that are going on really emotionally with you, you haven't really realized that all of those pieces are your identity, right? I love to bring Mike Tyson into this. Mike Tyson was, I think, a millionaire or billionaire. I forget if he made like 73 million or 79 million or something, but he's broke. He's broke. How is he broke? Because he never identified as a millionaire or a billionaire, whichever one it was. Okay. He still identified as the poor kid that he was. So because he never shifted who he was on the inside, he never gets what he wants on the outside. He's still overweight, right? Let's call it that way. Let's say he wanted to lose weight. He's still an overweight, unhappy person. So even when you get to the place that the diet works for you, your brain uses all those other subconscious mind things that are going on to socially sabotage you to get back to where you were. And then that's where you're like, God, I'm here again. But now I've even got 10 more, 20 more pounds. Why? Why do you gain the extra? Because your body wants to make it harder. So you can't get back to where you were before because it didn't like your identity when it was there, because we didn't shift the identity. The second piece is a mentality shift. Okay. The mentality shift really comes from good, bad food. Eat the fast food, don't eat the fast food. McDonald's is awful, but Chick-fil-A is better. Okay. All right. If that makes you feel better when you go to sleep, right? The mentality shift of removing that, of literally getting out of this is a diet. This is, I'm going to, you know what? Leslie's really speaking to my soul, and I love this food emotion code. I want to learn mine. I want to join this Beat the Scale program. I want to learn everything I possibly can. And then once I get it, I'll just have the answer. And I will just be able to not eat those foods again. I don't want you to come in if you're going to be like, I want to not ever eat this food again. Okay. I want you to come in to know I can eat the food, but I choose not to eat the food. That's the shift. That's the difference in the mentality shift of a diet versus the food emotion code. And why is that? Because a diet says, eat this, not that. The food emotion code says, eat what you want if you want to. Okay. Now we're going to dive a little bit more into that. Okay. The next thing is an emotional shift. Okay. This ties back into that emotional eating, right? It ties into that emotional eating of, I choose to eat the chocolate because I didn't get a hug from my husband yesterday. Or Rachel Hollis, I choose to eat that bag of Oreos. Or I mindlessly am watching TV later on at night, and while I'm entertained by the TV, my fingers aren't entertained, and normally they're entertained by typing all day long. So now I need some sort of entertainment for my hands, so I'm throwing popcorn in my face, okay? Emotional. People are like, oh, emotional eating is just, you know, when people think emotional eating, they think of like the woman crying in the ice cream, and that's so not it. You emotionally eat all day long, you just don't know it. Right? Maybe every morning for breakfast, your mom made oatmeal. So every morning for breakfast, you eat oatmeal. Well, oatmeal's healthy. I get it. But on the days that you don't eat oatmeal, do you feel worse? Are you not as happy? Does your mood change? Because that's an emotional piece there. And you're just not thinking it is. Okay. The last thing is that you have to change the beliefs that you have about food, about dieting, about yourself, about your body. You have to move some of those things to see a shift. So another one of my clients that came to see me, her name was Carly. I can throw her testimonial underneath this too. Carly came wanting to lose weight, and she did just that. But she came also with the fact that she abused the scale because there was a raising that if she weighed correctly on the scale, she had better worth. Okay? So having that emotionally tied there is something you have to break in order to achieve. If not, we're going to do exactly like what Sarah did. I just need the meal plan. I just need this solution. Because if I can Band-Aid it and get myself to there, then I just have to weigh myself every day, every day, every day, every day. And if it goes from, 140 to 144 to 140 to 144, the days that I'm 140, cha-ching. The days that I'm 144, it's that rude cycle in my head. You're fat, you're ugly, you're never going to be worth anything. You're never going to reach what you need to reach on the scale, right? So that plaguing you is going to stick you back up to all these things that's really happening. Okay, it's going to keep you to restricting and using the MLM things and using the increased caffeine and trying all these easy quick fixes. But really, it's all those 5 background things that are going on that are stopping you from really seeing the results. Okay, so what I want you to learn here is that the food emotion code is not something that you're going to come in and I'm going to be like, okay, here is your plan. And it looks just like everybody else's. Okay, absolutely not. Okay, it is something that is curtailed to you and something that all of those shifts need to change. Your identity, your beliefs, your mentality, your emotions, those things have to change, or this is nothing more than just a simple Weight Watchers or Noom to you. And that's not what I teach. And that's not how I help. Okay, I literally want to help the best of the best people out there. I want you to get the time. I want you to get the money. I want you to get the happiness. I want you to feel good, even on the bloated days. Because yes, no matter what you do, you will eat something that will cause your stomach to bloat. Yes, no matter what you do, you will gain a little bit of water from eating too much salt or something, okay? You can't eliminate the way that your body works, but you can change how you feel on the inside, okay? So here's homework assignment part 2, okay? With the things that you brought up yesterday, what would it look like if those foods no longer controlled you? If you could walk into a party, or if you could, eat a donut without guilt, if you could have your husband bring home something that you love and be like, hey, I'll have a bite, but I really just don't want to eat it all, and not feel guilt, what would really change? What would it be like if food didn't control you? Take some time and imagine that. If you were tempted right now with a food that you felt like you have no control around, how long would that food control your thoughts? Okay, so let's just say that my food that controls me is ice cream. And let's say my husband was home today and he walked in the door with my favorite ice cream, mint chocolate chip. It'd really have to be actually chocolate chip ice cream from Ted Drew's, but I live nowhere near that in St. Louis, Missouri right now. So luckily I'm not tempted ever. But anyways, let's say he walked in with that. Let's say for some odd reason he walked in with that. My brain, where it is right now, would be like, oh, I am eating that whole thing. I love that ice cream and I am eating that whole thing and I'm going to enjoy it and not feel a lick of guilt. Okay. But what would you feel? Would you be okay with eating it? Would you feel guilt? Would you feel shame? Sarah and Carly didn't get to where they got because of all the other diets they followed. They got to where they got because they learned how their food emotion code works. So from here, there's 2 things I want you to do. I want you to do that homework, and then I want you to really consider, do you need to book that free call I'm offering to every single person that's on this live? It's 30 minutes, so you can figure out what is really controlling you in the background. What's really stopping you from getting the result you want? Do you really want the result? Or are you just saying, I want to lose weight? See, I want to end on this note. People say every day, I want to lose weight. I'm sure you've probably known people that are like that. I'm sure you've known people that have gone on and off diets. You may be like that. You may work at a place where it is all about that. If it is, I'm sorry, because no one deserves to feel that way. What I want you to know is that the food emotion code teaches you how to strip all that away. How you can claim time, money, happiness, feeling good about yourself, getting back into the clothes in your closet, and really diving into your life. That's what you want, right? Really think about it. When you say, I want to lose weight, what's it really for? People say, so I can look better. Okay, I get it. I want to look better some days too, right? But what is looking better really going to get you? So really ask yourself, if you weren't controlled by food, how would your life be different? That's how I want you to think about it. And tomorrow, we're going to use both of these 2 homework assignments to tie into how you can take the first step I teach in the food emotion code. Also, tomorrow, I am going to teach you what the food emotion code looks like, and all the steps that we are going to do if you choose to continue on with me and Carly and Kristen and Sarah, different Sarah that you'll learn about tomorrow, and Danielle, who are currently active in the group, who are staying because their results keep going and their brains keep changing to start loving themselves more. And that's what we need. So if you want to learn more about that, of course, please feel free to comment below and make sure you're here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will throw the link below this video of where you can go to get that call if you would like to book that call. If you don't see a time readily available for you, feel free to just message me and I will get you a call that is set up right and properly for you. And the last thing is that on Friday, I'm having a free Q&A call at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I can answer any of your questions that you may have from these days. I'd love to do so, but if you want to do that, I need to know so I can send you personally the Zoom link. All right, guys, that's it. Homework, book that call if you want that call, and I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time so you can learn the last piece to your food emotion code. I'll see you guys later.